Hey guys, happy Halloween. Tomorrow is the first day of National November Writing Month, and I'm going to be working on two projects this month, if you can believe. The first thing I'll be working on is completing my work in progress, which actually doesn't even have a working title at this point. I call it my 1926 book. And then after I get the first draft of that done, I'm about halfway through right now. I'm going to be doing one final polish, we'll see, of the Ballad of Araceli Calderon, which all of you know is the mariachi story. But I wanted to share a tip with you guys that I discovered while writing Switchcraft. A friend of mine is an actor, and I was having trouble writing the two characters of Aggie and Nellie, and because I had the added complication that when they switched bodies, one was in the other, and anyway, so it would get really confusing. And she suggested that I use props, and once I started doing that, I had a bracelet that I would wear when I was writing in Nellie's point of view, and I had a shirt that I would wear when I was writing in Aggie's point of view. And writers are a little bit like actors in that we have to sometimes become our characters. Charles Dickens used to keep a mirror by his desk and would make facial expressions in it, and then try and capture in words that facial description. And so when I began writing my current book, the 1926 book, it is inspired by my great grandmother's life in National City. And the first day that I began writing, my mom happened to be going through her linen closet. And when she opened the door, out popped this apron that had belonged to my great grandmother. And she just had this really strong feeling that she needed to give it to me. And this apron happened to be what my great grandmother was wearing when she had a stroke and was taken to the hospital where she eventually passed away. So my mom has been holding on to this for all these years. And when I emailed her later that day, I said, "Oh, today was the first day I was writing Grandma's story." And I really did feel like my grandmother was in the room with me as I was writing the first 10 pages. And my mom started crying, and she said, "Your grandma kind of blessed the story by throwing this apron at me." And so I'm now on the 15th chapter of this book, and when I sit down, I either have it in my lap or I have it next to my keyboard, and it really helps my character, whose name is Ana Vasquez, come to life. One of the things that I have discovered as a writer is that if the character does not become real to you, they're certainly not going to come to life for the reader. And and sometimes you don't get it in the first draft. uh, with Tamara, she came to me like even before I wrote the book. And Will Benavides from Hot Tamara, it took several drafts. It was almost like I had to convince him to trust me. And then once he began to open up all of his secrets to me, the pages just caught fire. And so just if you can use that tip, if it works for you, that's great, because the point of NaNoWriMo is just to write as many pages as you can write, hopefully to complete a book. But I think the goal is something like 50,000 words. And that's at least half of a full length novel. Or if you're writing a short story, that's certainly more than a short story. Or if you're writing a shorter, more contemporary novel, if you just need that extra push to finally write the book that you've always been planning to write, this is a great time to do it. And if you check back on this blog, I'm going to be posting interviews and Q&As with different authors who have successfully completed, and some of them have gone on to sell the novels that they wrote during National November Writing Month. So come back, do a lot of great writing. In fact, you know what? Don't even do any great writing. Just write, because you can always go back to fix those pages. I'll be very honest with you right now. The book that I'm working on now, the 1926 book, on some of the pages don't even have punctuation. The spelling is terrible. I go from first person to third person in the same page, sometimes even in the same paragraph. All I'm doing right now is just trying to get those pages written, because Now, because when it's done, I can go back and I can fix it because then I have that raw material to work with. So give yourself permission to write crap, write a lot of it, and then in December, you can go back and you can fix it and make it that book that you've always dreamed of writing. So good luck and come back throughout the month, and I'll keep you up to date on my progress too. Take care. Bye.